What's up, YouTube? This is EV Comics, and I just wanted to get this out of the way because I'm going to make this short because this show didn't even have the I don't know, the respect, the potential, didn't even have the nerve to make these episodes longer than, like, I don't know, 6-7 minutes. This show is the epitome. It is the perfect example of what is wrong with modern cartoons. It is so bad. It is so pathetically lazy and bad that I can't even be bothered to script this. I am just going to ramble about this for a short amount of time and just get it out there because this shit pisses me off. Back in my day, we had, and I'm only 27. Back in my day, we had Teen Titans. I watched this show as it aired. Like, weekly. Sitting down in front of my TV, watching it as a kid. And every single week, we had great action, comedy, sometimes not just what the characters would say, but what the characters would do. The visuals would be exaggerated and funny. We had great character development, life lessons to learn, storytelling with plot. We had great animation. All of that. Every single week. Back in my day, we had cartoons that actually meant something. That actually don't just entertain kids, but give them something to take home with them. Give them some kind of lesson to learn, right? Give them something to kind of think about. No more. Not in this day and age. No, we can't have that. Instead, we get Beast Boy Lone Wolf, all right? Now, I didn't have any hopes for this show. I went into it expecting it to be mid. I didn't expect it to be terrible, because that's exactly what it is. You thought kids' attention spans are bad now? Well, great. Cartoon Network has a solution. Make even shorter episode cartoons. Why? Why are we making the problem actively worse? Why? What is the purpose of doing this? Of making a cartoon that cannot even commit, the writers cannot even commit the time necessary to tell a complete story with a start and a resolution, with the characters having learned something or have accomplished anything of value in even just the bare minimum of 11 minutes. Why can't we even do that? Are we seriously that lazy? Are the writers seriously this lazy in Hollywood to the point where they can't even do that? It's pathetic. And I know you're getting all riled up for a kid's cartoon. That's because they are important. They are not just for kids. They are for kids to learn in the future. Some life lessons to learn how to treat people a little bit better and to be better people themselves. That is what a lot of cartoons did back in the day. And they did it in a fun way, not in a preachy, pointing finger at screen, kids, don't be racist. Freaking Garnet. We had clever writing, subtle themes, characters that changed after the episode, and they stuck with that. Every episode afterwards, they might not do the same mistake that they did before. And we had all this back in 2003, and even the 90s. We had in the 90s. And now, we get this. And I want to highlight a certain episode because it was very, very visually unappealing to look at. This. What is this art style? What even is this? These are two totally different art styles. And no, it's not like Gumball, where the point of Gumball is to have a bunch of different art styles and clash them together. That was the point of Gumball's visuals, was to be that way. This is like clip art. This looks like a clip art corporate art style that you would see in like, cyber security training videos that say, hey, don't leave don't plug in flash drives that you don't know where they came from into your computer. That's exactly what the backgrounds look like. And then the characters, like, what is this art style, bro? The lines aren't even finished. They're not even connected, man. Look at this. Most of, like, it's so sloppy looking. What are the proportions on this dude? It's starting to make me think of Tron Legacy, except Tron Legacy made the long legs look good. But, like, the dude, he's got random hips sticking out. Like, what is this art style, bro? Like, what even is this? This looks like shit. I could draw. In fact, I do draw better than this. Now, I'm not animating it, but I like to think my art style looks a little bit better. And I don't even put a ton of time into my art because I'm trying to make it look cartoony. I don't even do all that much to make it look super detailed or whatever. And notice, by the way, they didn't even draw the mop reflected in the thing. It doesn't look like it. Well, it doesn't really look like it, but maybe they tried to and they just did a very lazy way. Because you can see the outline of his legs here, but you can't see the outline of the mop. It's so blurred. This is just the laziest looking cartoon I've ever seen. The episodes are approximately like 6-7 minutes each. And the only episode that had a hint of, I don't know, art to it was this Killer Moth episode where the fight in the train keeps going, the lights keep flashing on and off, and you keep seeing the Killer Moth get closer and closer to the guy he's after. And then, like, oh, what's this? A hint of plot because there's kryptonite in this, and Beast Boy accidentally helped Lex Luthor's goons bring kryptonite to Metropolis? What's that? That almost sounds like a plot. I wonder if that goes anywhere. It doesn't. It's so lazy. It's so uninspired, boring slop that no one will remember. None of the kids who watch this cartoon will remember it for more than maybe 5 days. If that. More than 5 days. You see these guys? They're all the same. Look at the bodies. They're all the same. This is just copy and paste. And have I copy and pasted things from time to time? Yes, but I'm not a freaking studio in Hollywood who gets paid thousands of dollars to make this. This is the best that Cartoon Network can do right now when they're suffering layoffs. Their whole studio got shut down by Warner Brothers because they ain't making any money. Gee, I wonder why. Maybe it's because your cartoons suck. And maybe we would still have a Cartoon Network in the future if you actually tried to make something. If you actually tried to tell something meaningful. I hate the modern age of cartoons. 2D animation especially, because it's treated as if it's like lesser. 2D animation is treated like it's lesser than 3D animation. Like it's the inferior product. Like it's something you crap it out so you can fill a time in a block of a channel, right? Just to fill a space. And it's not. It's art, man. Look at anime. Anime is still going extremely strong. It has not wavered at all in the cultural phenomenon that it is. People still love anime, and it's 2D. Now, yes, it uses some 3D elements, but it's still primarily 2D. You can't tell me that there aren't kids looking for something like Teen Titans, the original show. You can't tell me that there aren't kids looking for that. Because they do look for that. They still watch Teen Titans. In fact, it's still one of the most in-demand cartoons today. Because it's just that good. And maybe if we gave kids cartoons that entertained them with action, animation, and humor, while also teaching them pretty decent life lessons along the way without being so preachy as to bore them, maybe if we did it like we used to, maybe they wouldn't go watching idiots like Logan Paul, like Jack Doherty, like Johnny Somali, or whoever else freaking retard of the week it is. We need cartoons like Teen Titans, like Batman the Animated Series, like freaking Earth's Mightiest Heroes, like Ben 10. We need cartoons to tell kids subtle themes of how to be good people and to treat other people right so that they don't freaking watch Logan Paul or whoever else is out there making content for kids. Because, newsflash here, kids aren't watching Cartoon Network anymore. They're not watching Nickelodeon or Disney anymore. They're watching YouTube. They're watching freaking Elsa Gate. They're watching whatever digital circus porn that gets uploaded on YouTube Kids. They're not watching cartoons anymore because they've become boring, cheap, lame. And we gotta fix this. Somewhere, some way, this has gotta end. At some point, the bottom's gonna fall out. Cartoon Network's not gonna exist anymore. I highly doubt Cartoon Network exists for another 5 years. I'm predicting its fall. I'm predicting its complete erasure. Adult Swim has already taken over the majority of the runtime on their channel when it comes to cable. It's all falling apart. And it's because they refuse to do things like they used to. And yeah, I'm sure there's a lot of studio interference. I'm sure there's a lot of stuff that prevented this show from being good. And maybe it's not all the writers and stuff. But, man, this has got to be one of the worst things to come out of Cartoon Network and DC as a whole, I think. It's unacceptable. It's unacceptable how bad it is. And yes, maybe it's not fair to compare this to Teen Titans because there's probably a whole lot of different people. There's probably no one working on it that worked on Teen Titans. Yes, it might not be the fairest of comparison. But I will always compare new shows to Teen Titans because Teen Titans set the bar back in 2003 to 2005 of what a good action comedy cartoon that could teach kids lessons could be. And it has not been topped since, except maybe Avatar: The Last Airbender. Those two shows have been the prime example of how to tell stories to kids. And by further, all ages, because it's really, they're all timeless classics, in my opinion. That's the example, and it has not been beat. We could do this back in 2003. Tony Stark built this in a cave with a box of scraps. We could do this back in 2003. Why can't we do it now? It's laziness. It's greed. It's corporate crap. And it's got to stop.